Palm oil. What are you eating? Every day, you eat. As an American, you probably eat an okay amount, with Americans averaging 1,996 pounds of food a year, according to the U.S. Department of Agriculture. Marketplace says that about 70% of the American diet is processed food. You may recognize some of these foods. Around 50% of all packaged foods contain palm oil, and these products are just some of them. So, what's the problem with palm oil? Palm oil is often harvested unsustainably from rainforests, which damages one of the most biodiverse biomes. Here's a tropical rainforest that has not been harvested for palm oil. Now here's a tropical rainforest after being harvested for palm oil. See the problem? Not only does destroying rainforests lead to the endangerment of creatures like the Borneo orangutan, but because palm oil harvesting is all around the globe, mass deforestation lessens the ability of the earth to take in CO2. The carbon impact is massive. Environmental problems are not the only ones. Indigenous rights abuses are commonplace in countries with palm oil production. It may seem impossible to avoid palm oil. After all, half of what makes up 70% of our diet contains palm oil. But here are some substitutes for palm oil products made with either no palm oil or sustainably sourced palm oil. As you can see, making palm oil work is not just a matter of avoidance. Some of these products, as we said earlier, rather harvest palm oil in a way that is sustainable. Sustainable palm oil harvesting is the platform of an organization called the Roundtable on Sustainable Palm Oil, which 40% of palm oil producers are involved in. The criteria for joining this organization is transparency, compliance with laws and regulations, commitment to long-term economic viability, use of best practices, environmental responsibility and conservation, employee consideration, responsible development, and commitment to further improvement. Rules and regulations are so important to ensuring good practices in the harvesting of palm oil. There's a variety of sustainable foods out on the market. You may have to change some of what you eat, and yes, change, no matter how small, can be hard. But think about the long term. Sure, you could have a bag of Doritos, or you could have verdant rainforests and orangutans and a block against the tide of global warming. There's a lot to do if we want our environment to sustain our children and our children's children. But by ending the demand for palm oil, we effectively limit the profitable supply and begin to move to a world where we eat sustainably. Everything you do has an effect, and you should know the effects of what you're doing. So next time you're in the supermarket ogling a pint of Ben & Jerry's, reconsider. You have a choice. Choose sustainable.